It is No Gifts Please, the parenting podcast by the pair with no real gifts, but a whole lot of gumption. Hey everyone, I'm Steve Noviello.
And I'm Jenny Anchondo.
And I'm sending a last minute text here on my phone before we...
Oh no, were you texting me or were you texting somebody?
No, it was somebody. Actually, it's in reference actually to our topic today. We
fit this into the nooks and crannies of our life, don't we?
Essentially, yes. I just saw some friends who are actually fans of our podcast, and I mentioned that I was going to see you today, and they were like, "Can we come? Like, can we just come and watch?"
That would be fun.
I was like, "I mean, come on." So if people walk in the middle of this, maybe they've tracked us down.
Maybe they can come in, and then maybe they can give some feedback, because if they have interest in this show, maybe they have something to say about some of our topics.
Well, one of them I want to come in, and she knows who she is if she's listening, and do we alter her voice and her blur out her face. And we gossip about the worst crap people have tried to pull with regard to PTA stuff at school.
The stakes are high with PTA.
But okay, let me first say shout out to the PTA.
Okay.
So and maybe this is a topic for another day. Is this your
topic?
It's not.
I love a side tangent.
Okay,
a pre-topic topic.
It's a pre-topic, which actually may push our topic for today to the next episode, depending on how long the story takes. So, say what you will about the PTA, but those women, and I will say women because generally it's women.
Well, and then there was you.
And then there's me.
Yeah.
Those women have it buttoned up. There are corporations that are less efficient than the PTA at my kid's school.
Full-time job,
do you
right?
Do you have the same experience at yours?
It's not a PTA. There's a school board and then there's committees, but yes. And I'm on a committee, and I will say the amount of side texts that I do I have one tight friend on the committee, and I'll text her and be like, was that well received? I mean, I'm very insecure in it. Right. Whereas in a meeting at work, I'm very confident and secure. But the caliber of women and men that are at the meetings, it is intimidating.
It's a well-oiled machine. We're a public school. We fundraise. There's a lot of events. I mean, these women are on it. Conversely, when the dads are in charge of something, it's like, oh my God. What is happening here?
We have the super dads. It's just called super dads, and they do hot dog fundraisers.
We have the dads club at our school that you would think Doug and I would be very active in because we're a 2-dad family.
But you're more PTA.
I'm kind of more PTA.
Yeah,
it just hasn't clicked, and this is no shade to the dads club. They do great things. We go to the breakfast. We go to we volunteer at carpool, to open up doors and stuff and escort kids and stuff. We don't go to casino night and whiskey night and that kind of I don't have a fleece vest and a braided belt and the whole thing.
That is the uniform.
It's more of a finance bro situation, right?
Sure.
And again, the dads at school
You're a little finance bro in your own way. Save me, Steve.
Finance, yeah. But the dads at school are super. I mean, everybody, again, it's been a really good experience. But we had an event recently where a dad was in charge. I think I may have told you about this. A dad was in charge, and the time of the event was communicated to all, let's say, 45 participants 6 weeks in advance.
Sure.
It's on a Saturday. It's at this time. Great, clear your calendar. It was a big deal for everybody participating, everybody's kids. This is the time. 3 days before the event, we get an email that's hey, looking forward to it. Super excited about this Saturday. See you at 3, blah, blah, blah. See you at 3. It was 11. It was supposed to be 11 a.m., but you said 11.
No.
And not hey, heads up, we've had a last minute change. This is, whatever. Just kind of slipped in.
Completely different chunk of time. This is a different babysitter time.
Correct.
Different nap time if people have napping siblings. 3 is so outside the realm. Do 11:15 max if you're going to change it.
With all due respect to this dad, he, again, who is a big volunteer and has, it's everyone's got a lot going on. He was being deferential to the host school, because it was many schools that were coming together, to the host school who wanted the original time and was yeah, sure. I don't see why that would be such a big deal. Not for a moment, considering hey, 45 families have already considered to this later time in the day.
It's a chess game to get there at 11, and now it's a different chess game.
Whole situation about what. Anyway, it all worked out fine. There was a lot
dads,
there was a lot of grumbling and a lot of whatever, but at the end of the day, it was about having an event that all of the kids could go to together. But it's just I was thinking to myself, because by the way, this event, even though it's kind of a dad run thing, there's a lot of moms that are involved in getting their kids to it, right? So like, because that's what happens. So like watching the PTA moms, like, I mean, it's like so otherworldly that you would shift the time of something in the 11th hour by like to a totally different day part, to your point, with no mention of it. Like the moms were like stunned by the fact that
but here's the thing, only a dad can do that.
Correct.
Like only you would not even get a nomination for PTA again. There would be no bake sales, no lunch duty. You could probably barely even pick your kid up from school if a mother switched an event without telling anybody from 11 to 3. She would be so ostracized. However, a dad does it and they're like, oh my gosh, but how cool that he's volunteering. He is so great. And did you know he works? Wow. It is just dads get such a break.
Yeah.
I mean, and I am glad he's volunteering.
Yes. Anyway, speaking of events and volunteering, we went to the Pinewood Derby.
What is that?
What is that?
Sorry. That sounds, did you wear a polo shirt? That's what it sounds like. It is a tennis match.
Not like Derby, like, not like, is
it a golf
Not like
thing?
Kentucky Derby, like with the hats and stuff. Surely was Heath the Boy Scout when he was a kid? He strikes me as the Boy Scout type.
In East Texas, I don't know that they do Boy Scouts. They just are Boy Scouts. Like they just know how to do fires and tie knots and be chivalrous. Like so it's in their blood.
Derby
they don't do it officially.
Is part of Cub Scouts.
Oh, okay.
And everybody is given the identical, literally like a block of wood. Like it is a rectangular block of wood, 4 nails and 4 wheels. And you have to cut out a car and like make a race car.
Amazing.
And then there's a derby, like where you go and you race the cars against all the other kids. And then there's prizes for like different design categories, and there's prizes for fastest times and so on and so forth. So it's super fun. And the dad who volunteers and opens up his home, like he does like a workshop because he has a garage with a belt sander and a bandsaw and all of these
tools,
legit tools.
Tim the Toolman Taylor
opens up his home. Like it's an all day thing. Like all the kids come, like it's a big deal. So we went, this was Hudson's first year and Jacob's 3rd year. And
at this point, Jacob's like already creating hybrid cars.
So Jacob, the first year, he won like most realistic or something like that, right? Cool. Like our times were not, because they're like you get
better. I'm guessing over time as you refine.
Right, they have to weigh 5 ounces exactly, and people like hollow them out and put in weights and like counterbalance the weights in the back so that they go faster. I mean, it is an educational like engineering project for kids, which of course Jacob is all over. So anyway, I, of course, am like, listen, this could go one of 2 ways. Like I can't really guarantee that we're going to go fast because there's like a track they set up and there's computers and cameras and like these kids are racing and
instant replay.
There's an instant replay.
I was joking.
No.
Okay.
There's like the time difference is like 1/1000th of a second between first and second. I mean, it's a whole thing, right? So I'm like, listen, I can't, like, we don't have a track.
Do parents get to help, or is it solely the boys?
Parents help for sure. But generally it's the kids, right? But again, bandsaws and sanding and like at Hudson's 5 or 6. So like, we're not using a bandsaw by ourselves, but like you're going to draw the design on the side of the car or like tell daddy what shape you want or whatever. So I was like, why don't we do this? Why don't we lean into design categories, because that we can
pick
control.
Your poison
like
here.
Let's pick the poison.
Smart.
Let's lean into design categories.
Like style points always are the best.
100%. Right?
I couldn't agree more with your
if the
mission.
cars happen to go fast, then fantastic
Bonus.
as well. Right. So we like really, I have to show you pictures. I think we're on my Instagram and my Facebook page.
You keep talking. I'm gonna look at these babies.
It's on my Facebook for sure. So we go where the kids are excited. We like, do you know what Mod Podge is?
Of course.
Okay. So we, instead of like painting them, the kids like print stuff out. And then we...
Oh, okay. I did see this. I thought these were athletic trophies. I was like, oh my gosh, talk about burying the lead. You didn't tell me that the boys are football stars now. Like I thought I missed something between the last recording. Okay. I automatically, because I had already loved it.
To think that.
I thought it was a sports trophy.
Scroll up. I think that there's actually pictures of the actual cars. Maybe there's not. It's on my work Facebook.
I'm going to keep looking.
So we go and sure. So we instead of painting and stuff, and like I didn't want to like just like buy stickers and put stickers on these cars. So we they printed out stuff, and then we took Mod Podge and like made our own decals and like a whole friggin' thing, right? So whatever.
It's all in one day, or it's like
you make it over the course of a couple of weeks, and then there's like one race day where everybody gets together, right?
Got it.
So we go and they start racing, and sure enough, like their cars are like going super fast, and I was like, what? Like, what is happening here? Like, that's pretty exciting, right? So they're going fast, they're going well. Hudson ends up winning like, I think, second in his den against the other kids that are his age.
For speed.
Okay. Jacob wins second in his den for kids that are his age. Oh, there they are. There's the cars.
Okay.
Right
okay. Oh, wow. These look great.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. They do professionally designed.
Yeah. Right. Like they're super cool. So Jacob won most patriotic design. Hudson did not win his category. Frankly, I think because it was too good. I think that they were like,
they thought you did it.
Like must have either like bought decals or something. Like, look at that.
How do you do that?
Mod Podge. We cut.
But what is that? You cut
so
it.
We printed out the logo. No. We printed out the logo of their school, and then I had him cut it out, and then I trimmed it.
They were like, you bought this from the school store.
Correct. And then like we like they did all the painting, all the Mod Podging, and whatever else.
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna love this.
So they went. So now they go on to like. So they've won second place in their
nationals.
Den, pretty much. So now
now
they compete against like the whole pack, right? So like all the kids of all the age groups in their like district or whatever the heck it's called. So they're competing. So Jacob's car is not doing as well in like the second round of this. So of course he is like, what's going on? My car's messing up. Like what? And I was like, buddy, like the other kids are just exactly like the other ones maybe are just faster. And then I was noticing because I was the dad in charge of putting the cars on the track. I was like,
oh my gosh, how was that allowed?
I was like, one of his wheels is a little off, but I can't fix it at this point. That wouldn't be right. Hudson is like killing it. So like he ends up winning third overall for the entire like Boy Scout
so he
troop,
beat Jacob
essentially.
And just so people listening know, Hudson's the younger one.
Right. Then he, because of his third place overall finish, gets to go on to like the neighborhood, like against
you're on
all
a travel team. Book the hotel.
So now it's time so Jacob is kind of over the fact that because I was like, okay, thank God. So Jacob won a design award and the second.
Yeah.
So that's 2 wins for him. Hudson won second place and then third place overall. So that's 2 wins for him. So like number of wins, like we're good, right?
We can't keep doing this forever, but yes, it worked this one time.
So Hudson, when he won his like third place overall trophy, and Jacob was upset because he didn't win any kind of secondary speed trophy, Hudson walks over to him with his trophy and says, "Here, I want you to have this because I don't want you to be sad." Like, how sweet is that?
And then he won the kindness award.
We sat down and we had a conversation about sportsmanship, and I said, "Do you know what sportsmanship is, buddy?" And he said, I think it's like when you do something and maybe somebody else can't do it, but like you want to make sure that they don't feel bad about it." And I was like, pretty much. I said, "I'm so proud of you. Like, first of all, I had a really fun day with you. I'm really glad that we got to do this,
totally.
Whatever. But what I'm most proud of you, regardless of what you won, is that you were so kind to your brother and you were so quick to share your winning because you knew that it meant more to him than it meant to you."
It's really honestly in his gifting and his skill set, and Jacob's more so than Hudson's typically.
Correct.
So
I mean, and by the way, he gave Jacob the thing, and Jacob like immediately goes, "Thanks," and like went over to his friends. He's like, "Look what I got."
I'm shocked. I thought you would say Jacob would say, I want to earn it.
Yeah, no. He absolutely tried. It's funny. It reminded me in that moment of when Doug and I were trying to figure out last names for the kids, and he looked at me and he said, "You know what? It means more to you than it means to me. Like Noviello works for me." And
I didn't even know what their last is. That is their last name?
Yeah, Noviello. Their last name is Noviello. And there were several reasons for it, but he voluntarily,
namely clout.
No
offense, Doug.
Listen, I mean, if we're in a stack of applications for private school, and my last name is on it,
you did the right thing,
and you happen to know me.
You did the right thing. We all don't. We have to use every competitive
100%.
advantage that there is. And so if that's it, that's
Once
it.
again, we're leaning into design, what it looks like, right? Yeah. So anyway, but my point being, so Hudson is now racing against like all of the kids through like all of the other elementary schools in our district. So there's like
Children
5
of
different
engineers from
100%,
across-
100%.
Yeah.
There's 4 lanes on the track. And you get to race in each one of the lanes because there are differences in speed. Like, and again, it's milliseconds. So like maybe there's a bump, maybe there's a spot, so like it really does make a difference which lane you're in. So they let your car race in each one of the lanes you go 4 times.
Oh, okay. I like that.
So these cars are like racing down the track and Hudson is watching and like he'll be last. And he's like, yes, 4th place, Dad. Look, I got 4th. I'm like, awesome. And I'm like, that's last, dude. But like, he was like, I'm trying to figure out.
That's funny that it wasn't tracking.
Did you think that you were not going to finish? Like, he, as long as that car
Did
went
they
across
ever
the
just
finish line,
fall off the edge?
No, like as
so
long
nobody's did
right,
ever.
but not at that point. They were earlier in the day, like they wouldn't make it. They weren't fast enough. They weren't heavy enough.
Had
whatever.
seen that happen.
Right. So yeah, I guess. He was like 4th place. I got 4th. Like 3rd, I got 3rd place. Like
May
never.
He always have that.
I was like,
right,
100%. Like I hope you never. Like you're just so excited. He was like dancing. He was so excited to be there.
I think you just took 2 lines from that country song, "The Dance." I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. But it's true.
It was so nice. I'm kind of glad that we ate up all the time, and we'll tease ahead to our next.
I know.
Episode because, and I do want to tease ahead. So the tease ahead is this.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the show? What Would You Do with John Quinones?
I am strangely obsessed with John Quinones.
Oh, are you really?
I met him. He used to always show up at the National Association of Hispanic Journalists things. So he is like big Hispanic journalist
for sure.
idol. And I think about him like with such regularity that I'm not surprised that you just brought him up. I think about him all the time and I always think I'm on his show.
Okay. Doug and I, listen to this, were on a plane with him. And then the plane ran into significant issues, got diverted, and we had to land somewhere that was not Dallas and be put up in a hotel in like the most unusual set of circumstances that I was like, we are on his show.
Right.
Like,
We are to see if you're going to yell at the gate agent or like panic.
Like, we could not be mean to anybody. Like we are absolutely like he is right there.
Right.
Like
if you're going to secure your mask before helping others.
We were not, and he was just legitimately on our flight. But okay, teasing ahead to next week is what would you do? I have a thing. I think you have a thing.
Got some things.
I've
got a couple things.
Are you at that point with your kid? Well, Brighton, Gemma's too young. Where you find yourself in a situation where, for me, it's kind of like I want to come to your defense. I'm not sure, but I'm like, what would you do? Like as a parent, like
it's tough.
What would you do? That's what I was texting my friend about because I was talking to her earlier.
What would you do?
Like
I would think like, John, call me John Quinones. What would look bad if I did that thing? Would everybody on TV shame me? Okay, I better not do it.
Do you have a thing as well?
I've got a couple of things
of like, hey, what would you do?
Yes.
Okay.
Some real big ones.
Let's put a pin in it. Okay. Let's pick it up there next Tuesday, and kind of move forward because I really am interested in your advice. Because
me too.
I'm curious.
I need advice on mine.
I'm curious. What would you do? All right. Hey, here's what we hope you do. It's push like and push subscribe so that you can join us every Tuesday morning when a new episode drops. Remember, we're on your favorite podcast platform, and we always try to be about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Perfect podcast for doing laundry or taking a walk. We'll see you next time. In the meantime, go ahead and make yourself a friend you don't need to clean the house for.